Hello again. Well, this morning I managed to go base over apex walking the dog when I stood on some ice, so I'm a bit sore today. This won't be long, I hope, but need to move a couple of trains out of the way because we're going to finally address a task I've been putting off for ages. For those of you who've been around, can you guess what it is? Yeah, we're going to have a look at the front of that platform. So the first thing we need to do is to move this thing out of the way. It's got a filthy roof, I've noticed, so I am going to distract myself a moment to clean it in just a minute. I won't bore you with that, but I will move it. So the first thing is find out where it is and what the address is. This thing is really useful even though it is out of date. It is the sardine special, so number 30. I need to make a new one of these. That's the next task I keep putting off. I'm still using the one I repaired. I haven't found any problems with it yet. Oops, well, there's a problem. That's going backwards. Is it? No, I'm going backwards. Hold on, let's reverse that. And some lights on. Another one of those that can't make up its mind whether it's coming or going. Now it's been a while since we've run this one. It's been hiding in that platform over there, just not taking up space. Gonna run it all the way into the end. And that should leave me enough room, kinda, to put the other one there as well. Well, the 4-car unit has been hiding at the back there for some time, but it's still picked up nicely. I will say, other than the underground stock in the background, that does remind me a lot of these things coupling up at Dover Priory, or deciding they were going to uncouple and make 2 trains out of one. So yeah, lots of good memories there. Now I will want those 2 out of the way as well. I'm going to use the computer to do that because I'm going to park them in sections I know the points won't be set for. And I'll just let the computer do it. I'm putting off the main task, aren't I? Let's get on with it. Now I must say we have just put all of these in the right place and figured it all out on the computer, and now we're messing things up again. Oh well, just an excuse to play trains, that's all it is. There's something about the sound of this one that sounds or rings true too. It's just the sound of the wheels over the gaps in the track. Now that should stop about there. Well, look at me knowing stuff. I've taken control of the spam can. Trusty steed. Now, seeing this one go by, I couldn't help noticing that this layout has more than its fair share of buffet cars. We didn't eat in them very often, but we did camp out in them on the way to and from school. They were never open. I'm going to take this one a little further on than I might have otherwise. I'm going to try and clear the points here. It's going to be tight. Yeah, not quite. We need to move the other one. Could just push, I suppose. Not going to do it. There we go. That will clear the points nicely. That'll give me a little bit of space to maneuver later. Now, I was about to say that's the first time I've seen all of the platforms empty in years, and there's a locomotive lurking in the background. Let's move it backwards. We'll just shunt it to the mouth of the fiddle yard. Lovely. This old tank has been very reliable. The only issue with it has been the chip. Yeah, that's one of the ones that reverts to 3 on a regular basis. Now then, that is the first time in years that there hasn't been a train sitting in any of those tracks. Canopy just lifts off, but I do need 2 hands to do it, and we're going to slice off the front of that platform. They're in a very strange place right now. Do remind me they're there before we run trains again, or there will be a really loud clatter. The archaeologists are going to have fun with that when they find it. You missed it, mate. Yeah, that's these two have been having a conversation for quite some time. She'll have to be careful of them. I'm just running my hand over the platform here, and yeah, it's a bit dusty. I'm also noticing a twist on the card there. I don't want to use a damp cloth because this is card and it will absorb it. Oh yes, I forgot. Ooh, there'll be some notes in the comments about those. Ta-da! I want to cut those up and add to the pile. Some of the others broke off. So I've kept a few from when we got ourselves some conductor rail. We'll just make a little pile of sleepers there and glue them back. Now you can stop with the comments. There's none there, look, all gone. Right, 1 Gronk airlifted in. I believe the code will be 52, but I have no clue other than that's the sort of thing I would do. Let's give it a try. No. Now, what else would you have called it? You numpty, it's an 08. Of course it is. It must be that. Talk about overthinking. Of course it's an 08. Right, now it hits the corner of the curb here, so we're going to go very slowly. I could use this camera to see what's going on, couldn't I? Hold on. It has done something there. 1 second. I can't see that, but the camera probably can. I'm trying to hold it very still, and I'll be able to have a look-see in just a moment. I went away and had a look at the video. Yes, it was touching, so let's try and run it again. Not moving. Now then, what appears to be happening is that the platform edge is getting jammed right there, and the spike on top of the rods there are holding the edge of that platform. I don't think the edge of the rods are touching the brick wall, so we're just going to shave the front off. Now I am going to run this thing up and down a few times. It really hasn't ever had a good long run. You can come back now. So there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to run it through the other platforms just to see what happens there. Let's start with platform 1. Well, that's interesting. It's been in there a number of times. Huh. Well, as I guessed, I believe platforms 3 and 4 may have got slewed over towards us a little bit because it's clearing that by some margin. But the weirdness is platforms 1 and 2. It can't hit both of them if I've got something right. So we're just going to shave. Oh dear. Well, the next question is, how far am I willing to go? Well, it needs to be done. It's one of those things that this has been working for a very long time. We've got 1 or 2 locos that are hitting it. Certainly the Gronk is. This tells me something else has been too, and I haven't noticed. But we're right up against that brickwork there. There's a little bit of tolerance. I can, yeah. If necessary, we'll go all the way back and resurface. I've got plenty of this. It's just paper. It's just going to make a mess in the process, that's all. So we're going to have to take the lip off and we'll see what happens. Now then, being card, it won't sand. Multi-tool won't work either, so I'm just going to have to use a craft knife and see if I can't use the brick wall as a guide. It might look terrible. The one thing that might help me is that this is a stick-on sticker. I don't know if I've got any of it, but I can certainly fabricate that, which would cover up the rough edge. This is one of those things, oh, that has made a mess down there, hasn't it? It's one of those things where do it once, do it right really does apply. I thought I had done it right. Clearly not. Right, let me set you up so you can at least see some of what I'm doing. Straight in at it. Yeah, that will, we're taking about that much off. Nice sharp blade. Very brave, aren't I? And we'll just, this is the tricky bit, turning it around, working wrong way around with the knife. There's a little bit there. I'll get that out in a second. I'm going to have to move you just for this part, I think. Left-handed. No, I can't do it left-handed over the camera. Sorry, you're going to have to move. Hold on. It's making a mess. Block of wood under there. I must have faked that. There's a little piece there missing. And there's a few places along there that are really rough. Let's see if it's doing anything, though. Does the Gronk get any further than it did? Let's have a look. Well, it's even gone out of the shot there. It's hitting again. I should have moved the camera. It's hitting again where I haven't been. So this is working, sadly. All right, I'll let you see a little bit more of the butchery and carnage. I think the brickwork is going to end up needing, it's coming off in great lumps along here. Cut it off and try and make it smooth. Yeah. Right, trying to avoid the passengers under my arm here. Well, I must say it felt like once I'd got the blade flat against the line, it seemed like it was working. That's going to take some fixing, but most of the rest is fine. What am I going to do? I probably should take the whole thing off and start again with the brick wall there. I have actually installed it under here, I think, have I? Let's have a look. No. See along here? It's just the wood. So this one's going to be easier to trim back. I think if I can get that brick paper out of there, that would give us a lip again, and maybe I just slop some paint under there. We'll have a think about it. Now, while I remember, long ago, I learned break these off regularly, even if they seem to be sharp. So already I've broken a couple of these off on purpose. They're marked, you see them? They're supposed to do that. Don't just do it when they get dull. A dull knife will cut you and do stupid far sooner than a sharp one, so keep your knife sharp. I've got a big box of those blades. It looks like something terrible happened. It will be fine. Oh, it does look terrible. I've picked up all the big pieces and I'm just going to go along with the vacuum cleaner. Right, let's see if that works before we go any further. All right, and the other way. I think we're there. Let me just change tracks here. That looks like there's loads of space, doesn't it? And right there, I'll show you in just a second. Now there's a ballasting issue going on there. There isn't any ballast right under the rails. I think it was the day I was running out of ballast, but look at the gap there. And yet that track is straight as an arrow, or it was once, let's leave it at that. It could be the wood warped, I suppose. Yeah, that's much closer there. It's still clearing, and I'm happy with it, but it is much closer. Well, looking at it objectively, this end is straight. There is a kink in the track. You see it from here. You see that? That's where the no ballast is. And if there were expansion, that's where it would have been. But it's just that one piece that's pushed away from the platform edge. But the platform's not straight either. It looks like it is because it's got a straight edge on it. But the wood feels like it's bowed that way. So that way, even though the track looks straight. I'm not lifting it all and relaying. We're going to make this work, especially as it's a canopied station. You just don't see, and I had never noticed until Gronk decided to clonk. Well, I did knock Mr. Jones over. Sorry, I'll have to stick you back very carefully. to cover up that white spot on the tarmac there. Right, let's run this Gronk up and down. It seems to be the widest I've got. Plenty of room on that one, which is interesting. And right there, of course, you can hear the difference when there is ballast or not. Good ballast there. Listen carefully. Do you hear the change in tone? Listen. Much noisier when there is less ballast. Oh, you've run into the camera now. Let's have a look at you on the track that was the original problem. Looks close, but it's just fine. Let's move the camera over just a little bit. I think that's about where you're going to get the best view, and we'll see how far off it is. Still close, but it's not touching. Now this one's the mystery of the day for me, is that I've used this thing in and out of here multiple times and it didn't hit. Today was the first time it hit. I'm glad I checked. One more time all the way up there. The problem now, of course, is I've got a whole bunch of work to do to fix the mess. Nothing quite like a good old-fashioned Gronk. In the late 60s, I used to see these in Ashford, in Kent, when we were heading to see Nana. Now, I have no way of checking to see if my memories are accurate, but I'm absolutely sure somebody's going to tell me in the comments, they were never in Ashford. Well, we saw them somewhere, and it would have been the southeast. At the time, I thought they were steam engines because they had side rods. Look, Dad, a steam engine! No, there isn't. Yeah, I remember steam, but only just. Well, that's it for today. That's quite a mess I've got to fix, isn't it? But that's the way it is with model railways. Don't be afraid to give it a go. If you mess up, what's the worst that can happen? If I had to replace that whole board, that would be something. But I don't. We'll be fine. We'll put it back together soon, I promise. Hey, thanks for watching. See you again in the next one.